Hold up. Master teacher, master student, DeMarco. Hold up. I don't too much deal. And like he said, I come straight from Sears. I'm talking about the star system. Peers. Like the city girl. Oh, I'm Kears. Marco got him weary. I killed the track, they lyrics. Got orders on, so you know we ain't playing around. They want me to say on the bitch, talk about gun sound. Pow, pow. I've been standing on top of the mound. Lay the shit down. Niggas got mad when they looked at me when they realized I pulled the pounds. Ain't gonna elaborate it. Nigga want me up in interrogation. Nigga capping on the internet, most of the fabrication. You know that I did this shit daily. These pussy niggas need to pay me. Regardless if you hate me, Kobe Bryant, nigga, when it comes to this fading. Go through them phases, they know that the earth is shifting. Hold on, let me mind my own business. Come in and out the earth, I'm glitching, shape shifting and twitching. Hold on, little nigga, couple of people doing business. They don't wanna hear about that, they wanna hear about the nigga killing, drug dealing, physical, mundane bullshit. They rather give all day money to the pastor and pray on the pulpit. I can get a cruise ship, they be like, nigga, those bills ain't chill. You ain't talk about them. Hold up, let me get out there, that's in the wind. Cause doing 100 billion, long bid, nigga. What the fuck you mean? How you don't want me like Outcast? What you mean so fresh, so clean? They ain't got no dignity, they ain't military, and I ain't a beast. They left the niggas astray. Michael jumped on the beat the team. I ain't here to breathe. Niggas that be brag how they got position. Till a nigga get shot down, they done let his head shattered in the street. Ain't nobody won't be. See you pussy niggas in person, it's compete. Till we get the fucking planet back, I put it on triple darkness in space, it won't be peace. Hey man, say man, this your motherfucking boy, Cosmic Light Being, Dark Matter, Chaos Being, Master Teacher, Master Student, DeMarco. You new to the page, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you can become part of the notification gang. On the game. All constructive criticism is welcome in the comment section, aka the knowledge box. I'm back here with the motherfucking part 2. I had to cut part 1. We're gonna jump back out where I left at with part 1 with this part 2. I had an emergency I had to tend to. I apologize, I had to goddamn cut the video short, but we bite for part 2 of you getting to know who and what Meet Your Straw Man, the Doctrine of Discovery, and we in the middle of us recognizing the Doctrine of Discovery. And this is the fucking redemption for 9Ether people. And our lost estate. In our lost estate. I'm finna vibe out real quick. And then we gonna get straight into it. We're gonna get straight into it where we left off at. So mind me if I play a couple joints. You know what I'm saying? I just wanna raise the vibration. Raise the vibration. That's it. I'm finna raise the goddamn vibration real quick, man. Look within. Look within. God damn it, look within. God damn it, look within. I told you I was just finna raise the goddamn vibration real quick, man. I just wanna raise. Man, that should be going off. I can't lie. Hold on, let me go back. Hold on. Hold on, let me play. Let me play one more. You know what? Play that one right here. Yeah, I know. I like to run the motherfucking vibration up, man. Hence, perspective on the impact of the Doctrine of Discovery, May 2012, the permanent on indigenous issues concluded its 11th session with the approval of a set of 9 draft recommendations highlighted by text approved on the social, approved on the special theme, the ongoing impact of the Discovery Doctrine on the indigenous peoples and the right redress. The 15th century Christian principle was denounced throughout the session as the shameful root of all the discrimination and marginalization indigenous peoples face today. The permanent forum noted that while such frameworks of domination, of domination, and conquest were promoted as authority for land acquisition, they also encouraged despicable assumptions that indigenous people were savages, barbarians, inferior, and uncivilized, among other constructs the colonizers used to justify their subjugation, domination, and exploitation of the lands, territories, and resources of native peoples. And I'm gonna point out some as we continue, as we talk about so-called aboriginal, native, so-called natives, indigenous and organic people to the land. Let's continue. Number 4, let's go. The doctrine of discovery is a legal foundation for many of the court cases and pieces of legislation in Ottawa, New Zealand, if I'm enunciating correct, that have alienated marine land or Mary Reed land. Mary Ann, Marie. One of the most famous court cases in New Zealand legal history is Lee Parada versus the Bishop of Wellington in 1877. You can find the details here throughout. But its impact was huge for New Zealand law in that it famously declared the Treaty of Waitangi a simple nullity, uh, nullity, and found that the only valid title to the land was crown title. This finding by Judge James Prejudice Prendergast relied upon precedent case from the USA, Johnson versus McIntosh, which invoked the doctrine of discovery. In this case, U.S. Chief Justice John Marshall repeatedly cited the discovery doctrine of discovery, saying that discovery gave title to the government by whose subjects it was made against all other European governments, which necessarily gave to the nation making the discovery the sole right of inquiring the soil for rights of acquiring the soil from natives. Johnson versus McIntyre. In using this U.S. case as a precedent, Judge uh, Prendergast inserted the doctrine of discovery into New Zealand law, and these findings continue to then be used as precedent and be supported by New Zealand judges in the denial of marine rights and the alienation of marine land right up to the current day. In fact, in the Court of Appeal case, Gatti Appa versus the Attorney General, famously known as the Foreshore and Seabed case, Chief Justice Sian uh, Elias reference we provide a versus Bishop of Wellington by saying that I am of the view that approach taken by Turner J in the Supreme Court and by the Court and Appeal and in read the 90-mile beach can be explained only on the basis that they were applying the approach taken and we provide a versus Bishop of Wellington on that approach to property had existence in law until converted into land held in fee of the crown. Until then, it was assumed to be crown property for the reasons already given. Such view is contrary to the common law. The approach to read property had no existence in law until converted into land held in fee of the crown. In legal speak, that's Chief Justice Cyan or seeing Elliot saying, "Get the fuck out of here." You have any idea that the crown owns the fourth shore? In response, New Zealand government drafted legislation that, in direct conflict with these findings, that the ownership of the New Zealand foreshore is said with the crown, society with the crown. So even when the judge stopped explicitly, explicitly, explicitly supporting it, the New Zealand government still based legislation on the doctrine of discovery that alienated our foreshore and seabed. The doctrine of discovery continues to dispose indigenous people of our rights every day. The doctrine of discovery the doctrine of discovery has come to mean much more than a legal concept. It has been acknowledged by the United Nations as the driver of all indigenous dispositions. The laws and policies that grew out of the doctrine have come to shape society's ideas and attitudes about indigenous peoples and our rights. In 2012, at the UN International Human Rights and Indigenous Rights Lawyer Mona Jackson said, while the doctrine of discovery was always promoted in the first instance as an authority to claim land of indigenous peoples, there were much broader assumptions implicit in the doctrine. For to open up an indigenous land to the gaze of colonizers and other, there is also in their view an opening up everything that was in and of the land being claimed. Thus, if the doctrine of discovery suggested a right to take control of another nation's land, it necessarily also implied a right to take over the lives and the authority of people to whom the land belongs. It was in that sense and remains to this day a piece of genocidal legal magic that could, with the waving of a flag or the reciting of proclamation, assert that the land allegedly being discovered henceforth belongs to someone else, and that the people on that land were necessarily subordinate to the colonizer. In short, Mona is pointing out that the doctrine of discovery has been used not to only exercise control or indigenous land, but also over indigenous peoples. This probably best reflected by the many times Cook and his crew took native lives while also taking the land. Y'all seeing what these motherfuckers were doing in the name of religion. See, what motherfuckers don't understand is what these motherfuckers were doing and blaming it on Christianity and blaming it on God for the reason of their slaughter. But the people that came up with the whole idea and this whole concept that was only taken out of order and given and what these people, like I've been saying, these people have been trying to get the resources, the land. They gave the shit back, basically. They done gave the shit back. Hold on. They just showed plenty of time. Hold on. Let me show you. Before we go further, they showing. But what let me see. Let me show you, man. These folks done gave the shit up. They done gave the shit up. The knowledge, the resources, the goddamn motherfucker talking about the gold. They done gave the gold and shit back. They done gave the goddamn land back. They done said the goddamn laws and shit is fake and fraudulent. And all this shit done cease to exist. Hold on, let me show you these motherfuckers waving the white flag. Hold on. Let me show you these motherfuckers waving the white flag right quick. Let me show you, they done gave up.
Today, the famous red carpet was rolled out ahead of Sunday's Oscar show, but something was different with the color of the carpet from years past.
Eyewitness News reporter Mark Robles joins us live from Hollywood to explain what's different about this year's carpet. Mark?
Yeah, Giovanna and Philip, since 1961, it has been a red carpet, synonymous with Hollywood's biggest night, the Oscars. But right here where we are standing under the tent, take a look. This is they're calling it a champagne carpet, and it is a ceremonial moment. Just minutes ago, within the hour, a photo op to signal it is almost showtime. Rolling it out 4 days until Oscar Sunday. So this is really when activity under the tent outside the Dolby starts to pick up. Soon rehearsals will begin to make sure everything's ready for the big show on Sunday. As for this new carpet color, host Jimmy Kimmel was here for the rollout and took the opportunity to do what he does best, make some jokes.
I'm thrilled, I'm honored, I'm excited. Mostly about the carpets. I think the decision.
They always gonna make some motherfucker joke. These motherfuckers waving the white flag. That's what I showed there for. Them motherfuckers done wave the white flag. They done goddamn wave the motherfucking flag. As I was just saying, when it was just saying, it was in the sense that It was in that sense and remains to this day a piece of genocidal legal magic that could, with the waving of a flag. They waving the goddamn flag, man. They waving the goddamn flag. Hold on. Let's continue. Okay, we can see that good. We can see that good. All right, I go back right here. Let me throw this on right here. This disregard for indigenous rights remains to be the case at all levels today. Importantly, the waving of a flag or reciting of a proclamation that Mona refers to are the rituals carried out by colonizers to apply the doctrine of discovery and state the claim of the crown to those lands. These rituals are about to be reenacted around Ontario and Australia to mark the anniversary of the original claim of crown. If we were to accept that the current New Zealand government is in breach of the Treaty or Waitangi by one established itself in a way that subverted Tino, you see the word, and two, failing to secure adequate and appropriate Marie representation as defined by Marie, then this begs the question by what right does the government of New Zealand make laws that impact upon marine lives and lands? By what right does this government continue to breach the very document that permits its president yet still retain power? The simple answer is the New Zealand government is not operating under the provisions of the Treaty or Waitangi. It is operating under provisions of the Doctrine of Discovery, which will be re-entrenching throughout 2000, and you see what's been going on. But guess what? What we not realizing is that ain't shit been renegotiated. Ain't nothing been renegotiated. All this shit then came to an abrupt halt. Some of the dangerous aspects of the 2017 SCC is in decision as follows. The SEC ruled that based upon the assertion of European sovereignty, the Crown has radical or underlying title, thus keeping the racist doctrine of discovery alive. The claiming group bears the honest of establishing the Aboriginal title. Government can infringe Aboriginal rights conferred by Aboriginal title as a general proposition provincial governments have the power to regulate land use within the province. This applies to all lands, whether held by the Crown, by private owners, or by holders of Aboriginal title. Provincial regulation of general application will apply to exercises of Aboriginal rights, including Aboriginal title land, subject to the S35 infringement and justification framework. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let me pull this up right here. Let me pull this up right here. Let me pull this up right here. The papal bull intercessory issued by Pope Alexander VI, whatever the fuck, on May 4th, 1493, played a very central role in the Spanish conquest of the New World. The document supported Spain's strategy to ensure its exclusive right to the lands discovered by so-called Christopher Columbus the previous year. It established a demarcation line 100 leagues west of Azores and Cape Verde Islands, and assigned Spain the exclusive right to acquire territorial possessions and to trade in all lands west of that land, all of that line. All others were forbidden to approach the lands west of the line without special license from the rulers of Spain. This effectively gave Spain a monopoly on the lands in the New World. The bull stated that any land not inhabited by Christians was available to be discovered, claimed, exploited by Christian rulers, declared that title Catholic faith in the Christian religion will be exalted and be everywhere, increased and spread, that the health of souls can be cared for, and the barbarous nations be overthrown and brought to faith itself. This doctrine of discovery became the basis of all European claims in the Americas, as well the foundation for the United States Christian Expansion Corporation. In the U.S. Supreme Court in 1823 case, Johnson versus McIntyre, Chief Justice John Marshall's opinion in the unanimous decision held that the principle of discovery gave European nations an absolute right to discovery, gave Europeans the absolute right to New World land in their minds. In essence, American Indians had only a right of occupancy, which would be abolished. The bull interior satire made headlines again in 2000 when many Catholic petitioned Pope John Paul II to formally revoke it and recognize the human rights of indigenous non-Christian people. Don't realize is they ready for you to enforce the shit. They ready for you to enforce the shit. Indubitably. Like, they done show goddamn a million ways, a million. I nigga, it's your shit. It's your shit. You know what I'm saying? We just used in the whole, we was just using the whole thing to goddamn keep y'all throwed off. We was using the whole goddamn thing to keep y'all throwed off from what the fuck was going on. To keep y'all ass told the fuck off. Hold on, what I was going on, what we going on? Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Hold on. Shit, my bad, y'all. I'm trying to do something. Hold on. Cancel it. Do something new, goddamn. I'm finna goddamn do something new. I'm finna invite a guest. I'm finna invite a guest in this motherfucker. Now, you see see, and let's check out the whole confusion. When we talk Aboriginal, we talk American, Native American Indians. We talk about the different tribes, but or Aboriginal, Indigenous, organic. What you think is organic is not the one that's really indigenous to the land. The one you think that's indigenous to the land got to the land. It was put in the land. See, what you think is indigenous and organic is something is these looking motherfucker right here. These motherfucker right here. You feel me? And you tell a motherfucker this right here, they get offended. It's out of their comfort zone. You feel me? They cerebellum won't let them register. When you can just go in and check it out for your goddamn self and see what the fuck going on. See, a lot of motherfuckers can't get up out that cognitive dissonance to even understand what the fuck is even being talked about. See, indigenous, aboriginal, organic to America, native to America. You think of these motherfuckers right here because they give us the whole, oh, we've been all brought from Africa. We get that whole Africa shit, slavery shit. And actuality, in actuality, these people here was put in place of us over here in America, whatever. Like, oh, they got killed off. The original people got killed off, and these people right here is really the left them. You see how they just take a whole motherfucking group of people out and put a whole group of people in. They take the real indigenous, the real organic motherfuckers, the one that's organic and they organic to the land. Take them out with their doctrine of discovery, using religion, kill, pillage, break the indigenous. They use the doctrine. They tell you that they use the doctrine to come in and take the goddamn land. Savages, you niggas built all this shit. You niggas built all this shit, but you niggas is not of God. You niggas don't know God. You niggas don't know none of that. So we gonna give you this doctrine of discovery to take your shit and give you our religion that we don't even really believe in. We don't even really believe in religion. We just use this shit basically for a motherfucking tool. Because we feel as if that, where they feel as if God is doing what they doing what God told them to do. But if you go into the whole information of the shit, then technically their God, they is technically doing what their God, their creator, told them. They take care of the whole plan of what their creator told them to do. When these group of people right here being used, and we get the whole kings and queens, we get that whole story of the whole royal families and shit. And we thinking that these people that's been in the front seat driving for the whole time. We think Buckingham Palace is running the show. We thinking Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and all the so-called top 10 names you probably can pull up of so-called Illuminati. We thinking that they run the world. We thinking that they run the show, but in actuality, a group of people set these people here within possession. They set them in position. You're like, hey, this is what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna play the roles of these niggas that has lost their estate. They didn't turn over to the goddamn religions and you know what I'm saying, throughout all the time so-called Pepper Wolves to come in. Oh yeah, you niggas, we taking your shit. You niggas ain't on what we on, so we coming in, taking all your spirituality, we taking all your goddamn resources. We gonna do all this type of shit to you in the name of God. And you get religious motherfuckers talking about, oh God and Jesus and all of this shit, but throughout the time frame, throughout fucking history, what we have been seeing is these motherfuckers using the name of God to pillage, rape, usurp the land, genocide, and etc. And etc. Now, let's go to 1400 AD. About 600 years ago, the Pope asserts rights to colonize, convert, and enslave. A motherfucker that look like that. Pope Alexander the Fifth or six, one arm, issues a papal or decree intercessory in which he authorizes Spain and Portugal to colonize the Americas and its native people as subjects. The decree asserts the rights of Spain and Portugal to colonize, convert, and enslave. It also justifies the enslavement of so-called Africans out of our own soul, large and certain knowledge, and out of the fullness of our apostolic power by the authority of Almighty God conferred upon us in blessed Peter and the whole victorship of Jesus Christ, which we held on earth, due by tenor of these present should any of said islands have been found by your Iroquois and captains, give grant and assign to you and your heirs and successors, kings and of Castile and Leon, whoever together with all their dominions, cities, camps, places, and villages, and all right jurisdictions and apprentices or opportunities, all islands and main lords found and to be found, discovered, and to be discovered towards the west and south by drawing and establishing a line from the Arctic Pole, namely the north to the Arctic Pole, namely the south, no matter whether said mainlands and islands are found to be found in the direction of India or towards by any quarter these said line to be distant 100 leagues toward the west and south of any island. Any of the islands commonly known as the Azores and Cape Verde, which is the Vista, however, that none of the islands or mainlands found and to be found, discovered, and to be discovered beyond that said line towards the west and south in the actual possession of any Christian king or prince up to the birthday of our Lord Jesus Christ, just past from which the present year 1493 begins, and we make a point and depute you and your said heirs and successors, Lord, of them with full and free power, authority, and jurisdiction of any kind. Well, well, bear with me. Bear with me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hold on, bear with me. Hold on, bear with me. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up right up. Hold on, back with me. Back up. And this, let's see, one of these I'm finna read is uh, from this right here. One of these I'm finna read is right here. Conquistadors of the Red City, the Moroccan conquest of the Songhai Empire, Koma Plummer III. Alright, let's go back. Let's go bite. It is an historical fact supported by documentary evidence that a consortium of Jews headed by Fernando de Noronha had obtained in 1502 a 3-year lease from the Portuguese crown for the exploration and settlement of the newly discovered Brazil. The lease constituted in reality a monopoly was extended for an additional 10 years in 1505. This consortium sent 6 ships each year to Brazil with materials, goods, and colonies. Under its auspices, new lands were discovered and settled, and fortifications erected and maintained. The consortium pioneered in the dyewood industry, and it was the first colonizer, exporter, and importer of commodities. In a spirit of enterprise, the men composing the consortium invested their capital and took risks in the new land from which the Portuguese crown profited without taking the slight risk. It is obvious that the Noronha group brought sugar cane to Brazil. Now, this one I wanted to get into right here. Al-Mansur envisioned the occupation of the West Indies in the following letter he wrote to the Queen. Besides, you must treat of your army and of your army. Al-Mansur, he probably goddamn. They probably gonna portray. Let's see what they portray him at. Let's see what they portray him at. Let's see what they portray him at. Hold on, I don't want to do that one. Hold on. Put it back right up. I don't know, they got nothing to say. Anywho, Atmosphere, it is occupation of the West Indies in the following letter he wrote. Besides, you may speak of your army, army, we shall go to these countries of peopling the land after that, with the help of God, we shall have subdued. That is probably how you talk. For our intent is not only to enter upon land, to save it and leave it, but to possess it, and that it remain under our dominion forever. And by the help of God, to join into our estate in years. Third, it shall be needful for us to treat the people thereof, whether it be our pleasure, it shall be inhabited by our armies or yours. In respect of the great heat of the climate, where those of your country do not finally find themselves fit to endure the extremity of heat there and of the cold of your parties, where our men endure it very well by reason that it hurts them not. Like I said, we've been talking about original, aboriginal, organic. What the heck are they talking about? The goddamn heat hurts them not, my queen. What say? The heat hurts them not, my queen. If your country do not find themselves fit to endure the extremity of heat there and of the cold of your presence, parts, where our men endure it very well by the reason that it hurts them. Jewish cemetery on Nevis, the dates of burial were from 1660 to 1725. Richard is authoritative on Nevis, recorded the commercial activity of the Portuguese Jews. When they say the Portuguese Jews, they, like I said, a lot of this is about on the island during this period. Long abandoned burial grounds for these folks exist on other islands and lesser Antilles. And Jewish synagogues have arrived in the 20th century of Barbados and Jamaica. The immediate place of origin of the Jews was Brazil, from which they fled in the middle of the 17th century in order to escape religious persecution. The ultimate origin of these folk lies in the Mediterranean world. Persecution and forced migration of the Sephardic Jews began in Spain in 1478. We hear reference like that. They talk about niggas. You hear shit like that. They talk about niggas. Oh, where were we? Although, we left off at 1478. With the establishment of the Inquisition, been a lot of Inquisition in the Spanish Inquisition, and all the Inquisitions. You hear me? A lot of the, when they talk about goddamn Dutch Protestants and Portuguese Catholics, new Christians, professing Jews, native Indian, Negro slave, damn them all them motherfuckers. A similar experience of forced migration awaited them in Brazil almost 200 years later. Although the major aim of this paper is to throw whatever light is possible on the role of the Sephardic Jews in the British colonies of the Caribbean, it is necessary to sketch in their background in Europe and in Brazil, and the organization of the paper is to that end. Now let's go bite. I'm gonna go bite right quick. I'm gonna go bite right quick. I'm gonna order it right quick. For the so-called Hebrew Israelites, I have some things that I want y'all to check into. Because as far as Jews or the 12 tribes of Israel being in America was made up, what being in America was made up by Christians, and here's the kicker. Those foreigners who introduced the idea to the so-called American Indians as being Hebrews or Jews was it even speaking nor writing about so-called black people. They were referring to the Euro Asians that they found over here. Euro Asians who already knew and were keeping Jewish customs before coming here. The Asiatic. In the late 14, early 1500s, the so-called black Indians were so-called still savages and were under discussion as to whether our ancestors were even human in the eyes of the Roman Catholic Church and needed to be civilized and converted to Christianity. Many Christian groups or sectors piggyback off the doctrine of discovery. And let's keep going to let's keep going to term American Indian was used as early as the late 1400s. First used or applied to the dark-skinned original inhabitants of the Americas. But you know, all these names was for the corporation. These so-called African Americans of today's day, which is the first explorers, aka spies, came in contact. The so-called African Americans of today's standard. These were and are the Americans according to the 1828 dictionary written by Webster, which brings us to the use of Native Americans. This term was first used in the mid 1800s and was used and only used know nothing, aka the Native American Party, who were Caucasians, Asian Europeans were born, they were all from Mongolia that was brought over here to take over our identity, the true indigenous. You see, you got Caucasian, not the youth, all on the side. You know, the Euro Asian, that's what they basically is. And they calling these motherfuckers Native American. Native American became an identity for the Caucasian Europeans and was later applied to the Eurasians of today's standards. Let's keep on. Let's keep on. The American Negro, the Indians, aka Negro, were and are the lost tribes of Israel. They say in these earlier beliefs, it was the Eurasians who were flagged are the lost tribes of Israel, and not the so-called Negroes found in America. The so-called Negroes, aka Indians of America, were considered the curse ones in their holy scripture and or books and could be saved from the blackness, which was the curse according to the Catholic Church. Christians, as well as earlier Christians, reliance of the Christian and Judaism faith, the same faiths that taught the dark skin were the curse. These Christians, upon seeing the American Indians, began to contemplate whether we were even human and even if we could be saved. That's how they come up with get their whole doctrine. They put their whole doctrine together based on their ideology, based on that. Indian Mormon encountered in 1830 to 1840. The Book of Mormon was published the same year the Indian Removal Act passed. It gave church members a different perspective on the history and future destiny of American Indians. The early saints believed that all American Indians were the descendants of Book of Mormon people, that they shared a covenant heritage connecting them to ancient Israel. We often hear the same prejudice towards Indians shared by other European Americans, but later they saints believed that Americans were heirs to God's promises, even though they now suffer from and are rejected gospel. One theory popular at the same time was that the Native Americans were the descendants of a mound builder civilization. These mysterious builders were actually a white race according to the theory, and that they were destroyed by a more savage race that is genetically the modern Native Americans, Smiths believe, and the narrative of the Book of Mormon is popular at the time of belief. Further further such theories suggested that Native Americans were descendants of a lost tribe from Israel. However, the book is not a spiritual text in many ways. It's a snapshot of U.S. history at the time of its writing. In particular, passages of the text attempt to deal with the matter of Native Americans during Smith's time. The matter of Native Americans was just an abstract concept, questions about their welfare, about the United States expansion into their territory, and indeed their spiritual well-being were concerns for many Americans during Smith's time. The Book of Mormon deals with Native Americans attempting to reconcile their very existence with Christian theology as well as race. I'm going to scroll through that. I'm going to scroll through a little bit. Map showing the generally accepted model of human spread over the world. Numbers indicate years before present, the indigenous people of the Americas are held by modern scientists to descend from the Paleo Indians who migrated from North Asia to Alaska via the Beringia land bridge and from the Middle East as claimed by the The paleo Indian would be they got pale in the middle of it. These evidence from a genetic perspective agree with a large body of archaeological, anthropological, and linguistic that Native American peoples ancestors migrated from Asia at least 6,500, that is 13,000 years ago. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on, we finna get to the whole. Justify the screen measures to clear the native population from the land, including forced removal and violent extermination. From proponents of manifest, the American Indians were mere impediments to the forward march of racial and technological progress, and they advocated pursuing a policy of Indian removal. Did you know the doctrine of discovery was adopted by the United States Supreme Court as the foundation of federal policy? The doctrine of discovery is an old church doctrine from the Roman Catholic Church that became the foundation of current federal Indian law, which governs the relationship between Native American tribes and the United States federal government. Come find out more in this. See it? You see it? The doctrine of discovery established a religious political justification for colonization, seizing of control of resources, natural and any land not inhabited. The elements of the doctrine of discovery can be found in the series of paper bulls of decree beginning in the laments, which included sanction, enforcement, authorization, expulsion, admonishment, excommunication, denunciation, and expressions of territory sovereignty for Christian monarchs supported by two paper bulls in particular stand out. Pope Nicholas V, fourth, issue which whatever one, issue Romanus Pontifex in 1455, granting the Portuguese a monopoly of trade with Africa and authorizing the enslavement of local people. Pope Alexander the issue was that issue papal bull interest Terry in 1493 to justify Christian European explorers' claims on land and waterways that they allegedly discovered and promote Christian domination and superiority and has been applied to Africa, Asia, New Zealand, and America. All about with, all about with, all about with, all about with. All about with me. All about with my ass. Something else I want. I had something else I want to pull up. Love bear with me. Bear with me. You the there, bro. I'm gonna come back to that right out there all on. Um, chill. Not right all on. Bear with me. Hold on, bear with me right here. You know what? We're gonna go right here. I'm gonna go right here with it. Bear with me. Hold up, bear with me.
What they were being described as looking like. All right, so I got this image right here. This another black European. This is supposed to be the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V. All right, Charles V, the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V. All right, we also got an Inca painting of during the Inca times in the 1500s that shows Charles V also as a black man, and the Incas as well. So, you know, a lot of correlation, and it starts making sense when we start finding real primary sources and scholarly books written in these contemporary times. The book we're about to read is from 1733. All right, but before we begin, I just want to go ahead and read something that I've read before in a lot of videos, and it has to do with something Benjamin Franklin said. All right, so before I begin the video, I wanted to remind everybody this information, well, this book that we've gone over, something Benjamin Franklin said that we need to really pay attention to, right? So the book is called Observations Concerning the Increase of Mankind, Peopling of Countries, by Benjamin Franklin. All right, Benjamin Franklin wrote this. All right, this is from 1755. All right, and we're on page 10 of this book. And this is what Benjamin Franklin says point 24, which he's making observations, right? He's given, which leads me to add one remark. He says that the number of purely white people in the world is proportionally very small. It's very small. You're the minority. All Africa is black or tawny. Asia chiefly tawny. All right, tawny, a darker complexion, right? Not white. America exclusive of the newcomers, wholly so. All right, what is that saying? America is what? Black or tawny, wholly so, except the new people, the newcomers, meaning that the aboriginals that were already there is wholly what? Black or tawny. All right, Benjamin Franklin, and And in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, Swedes are generally of what we call swarthy complexion. Swarthy. All right, just in case you don't know what swarthy is, just a quick reminder, we're here in the American Dictionary of the English language. All right, this is actually Webster's 1828 dictionary. All right, I got the official PDF. We're gonna go all the way to the word swarthy. All right, and right here it says swart. Right, almost sounds like steward. Swart, steward, swart, steward. That what they get steward? Did it mean black or dark? What is swart? It says being of dark hue, moderately black, tawny, swart. All right. Down here it says swart, to make tawny or brown. Swart, an apparition. Swartly. All right. Duskly with a tawny hue. It says swartness, tawniness, a dusky or dark complexion. Dark complexion, right? Dark complexion, swarthy, being of a dark hue or dusky complexion. Tawny, in warm climates, the complexion of men is universally what? Swarthy or what? Black in warm climates. Is there only warm climates in Africa? No, we have warm climates all over the world, right? The Moors, Spaniards, and Italians are more swarthy than the French, Germans, and English.
Y'all get the whole goddamn point. Hold on, bear with me. Go right here. Hold on, bear with me. Go right here. Hold on, bear with me. Thought it was already right here. Bear with me. Go right here. Let me go right here. Let me go right here.
Pope Francis had apologized for generations of cruelty and harm. But then only that voice, its strength and undeniable emotion. To many, it sounded like O Canada, the language, to those who know it, unmistakably Cree.
Indigenous.
Her eyes seemed to reveal so much pain, the final notes building to a deep cry. This wasn't the Canadian anthem at all. Her name is Sebastian.
I turned my back, I said, hi, hi, and I shook it off. That's enough because I wouldn't let it hurt me anymore.
Her name is Sepiko, and she says what she sang in Musqueam wasn't the Canadian anthem at all.
No, that's not O Canada, that's our village in the language of the Four Winds. After the song, I spoke the law to him, the law of these lands. Hereby serve the spoken law. We, the daughters of the Great Spirit and our tribal sovereign members, cannot be coerced into any law or treaty that is not the great law. We have appointed chiefs on our territories. Govern yourselves accordingly.
Her spontaneous moment of courage has been met with praise from both those who were there and the millions more who watched from afar. Sepiko says the pain she felt that day was shared and not hers alone.
Hold on, let's get a little more familiar. Hold on, bear with me. On there. On my damn video at. Bear with me on my damn. There we go.
Being delivered from the Muskogee Creek Nation on behalf of Muskogee Creek spiritual leadership in opposition to Cop City.
I came all the way on the Trail of Tears to deliver this letter to you folks. We want you to know that the contemporary Muskogee people are now making their journey back to our homelands and hereby give notice to Mayor Andrew Dickens, the Atlanta City Council, the Atlanta Police Department, the Atlanta Police Foundation, the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office, and so-called Cop City that you must immediately vacate Muskogee homelands and cease violence and policing of Indigenous and Black people in Muskogee lands. We also ask for an independent investigation into the assassination of our relative Tortuguita, and that the charges be dropped against Welaunee Forest defenders. According to the history of Muskogee peoples, we originated in so-called Georgia near the Ocheesee Creek in the valley of the Ocmulgee River as individual tribal nations. We lived as stewards and in relationship to this land for more than 13,000 years until the illegitimate state of Georgia negotiated with the tyrant Andrew Jackson for the militarized forced removal of Muskogee and Cherokee relatives to Indian territories. Mayor Dickens, can I give this letter to you? Oh, he got one. Mayor, we want to talk to you about our homeland.
The Muskogee Creek people.
Should I keep reading? Yeah. Georgia is the birthplace of oppressive policing originated with the indigenous genocide and the Trail of Tears and the capture and enslavement of African descendants seeking their freedom. Our ancestors who are buried here continue to suffer while the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia deploy the very same escalated military tactics against Black.
You see it. You see it. This is what being brought to the masses. And some people gonna be in their feeling. Some already in their feeling. Some already in their feelings. The corporation over with. The corporation shut down. The corporation is shut down. When the people that got the doctrine of discovery look like me and you, that's who gave them. Motherfucker that look like me and you gave these people what to do with the doctrine of discovery. Sent niggas in that look just like you to infiltrate. Niggas created the whole United States corporation. The whole corporation. Well, we gonna get up out of here. You already know, man. Stay the fuck away from hate and stay on medication, aviate, and positive vibration. Peace, love, like the motherfucking darkness and aviation. It's a sensation. You know all the world's a motherfucking stage. They gonna have plenty goddamn distractions going on. So you don't get to know, or so you don't do your shadow work, or basically go within with you, getting to know you a little better and worry about you and yours, and you feel me? And you know what I'm saying? The distraction's cool and fine, but I'm just looking at the shit, eating popcorn. I ain't eating no popcorn, but the whole stage, the main screen ain't nothing but a goddamn movie to me. It ain't nothing but a motherfucking movie to me. We waiting on the goddamn the mass awareness. We wait on the mass motherfucking awareness of how deep the spell is. How a lot of these so-called kings and queens that they talk about didn't exist. Or they whitewashed it to make it seem like the motherfucker was another color. When in actuality, the majority of your kings and queens been 9Ether color or been 9Ether people. Until next motherfucking time, I'm gonna be black at you with another motherfucker.